Pilots can take off in one country, cross several time zones during flight, and land somewhere that is hours ahead or behind their departure location. Weather reports, flight plans, and air traffic control instructions all rely on precise timing. But if every airport, controller, and pilot used their local time, things would quickly become very confusing. To solve this problem, aviation uses a single universal time standard shared across the entire world, Zulu Time. In this video, we will be explaining Zulu Time, what it is, how it applies to aviation, and some techniques and tools commonly used to quickly read and calculate times before, during, and after your flight spanning multiple time zones. Before we get started, make sure you like this video. It lets us know you are enjoying our aviation content. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more aviation tips and insights from Epic Flight Academy. Let's get started. So, what is Zulu Time?
I'm Ray Altmann and I'm the Chief Flight Instructor at Epic Flight Academy. Zulu Time is a universal time. It's set off of Greenwich Mean Time, which is off the prime meridian, and it is a time that is used across aviation to simplify communication about times across the world.
Zulu Time is the global time standard used in aviation and the military to ensure pilots, air traffic controllers, and aviation systems are all referencing the same clock, regardless of location. Zulu Time is simply another name for Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, which is measured from the prime meridian located in Greenwich. The name comes from the NATO phonetic alphabet, where the letter Z is pronounced Zulu. In aviation, a Z placed after a time indicates that the time is expressed in Zulu time rather than local time. For example, 1530Z means 1530 in Zulu time, or 3:30 p.m. UTC. If a pilot in New York City sees a weather report issued at 1530Z, they understand that the time is referencing the global UTC clock based at Greenwich, not their local time. That pilot would then convert the Zulu time to their local time zone to determine when the report was issued where they are.
The reason that Zulu Time is used in place of local time is, depending on where you're flying, you might take off at 7 a.m. local time and land at a different destination after flying through time zones at 7 a.m. So that can be really confusing to a pilot. They might miscalculate fuel consumption. So instead, if let's say you take off at 1100 Zulu time and you fly and now you're landing at 1600 Zulu time, that's about a 5-hour flight. That allows the pilot to clearly see this is a 5-hour flight and not get confused or mixed up by crossing different time zones.
Aircraft regularly fly across multiple time zones, which makes local time unreliable for coordinating flights, weather briefings, and air traffic control. By using Zulu Time, pilots, controllers, meteorologists, and dispatchers can all reference the same universal clock. Zulu Time is used throughout aviation for weather reports, flight plans, NOTAMs, air traffic control communications, navigation charts, and flight logs. Instead of constantly adjusting for changing local times when flying between regions, everyone involved in aviation reads the same hours and minutes, ensuring clear communication and consistent timing across the entire system. Zulu Time follows a simple format written as HHMMZ, which represents hours, minutes, and the letter Z indicating Zulu Time, or Coordinated Universal Time. In aviation, these times are typically spoken in hundreds. For example, 0100 Zulu represents 1 a.m., 1200 Zulu represents 12 p.m., 1800 Zulu represents 6 p.m., and 2359 Zulu represents 11:59 p.m. Because Zulu Time uses the 24-hour system, there is no need for AM or PM, which helps keep aviation communication clear and consistent. Pilots often need to know the current Zulu time when filing a flight plan or checking aviation weather data. Because many aviation systems use Coordinated Universal Time, pilots must be able to quickly reference the current UTC time to make sure information is accurate and up to date. There are several ways to determine the current Zulu time. Pilots may use a Zulu time calculator or converter, reference a Zulu time chart, download aviation apps that display UTC, or simply keep a digital watch set to Zulu time. Many pilots even keep one clock in the cockpit set to Zulu time so they can quickly reference it without needing to constantly convert from local time. To convert Zulu time to local time, you add or subtract hours depending on your time zone. Because Zulu time is the same as Coordinated Universal Time, each location around the world has a set offset from this universal clock. For example, in the United States, the standard time offsets are Eastern Time, Zulu -5 hours, Central Time, Zulu -6 hours, Mountain Time, Zulu -7 hours, and Pacific Time, Zulu -8 hours. If the time is 2000 Zulu, the local time would be 3 p.m. in Eastern Time, 2 p.m. in Central Time, 1 p.m. in Mountain Time, and 12 p.m. in Pacific Time. Daylight savings time can change these offsets by 1 hour, so pilots should always confirm the correct conversion before interpreting weather reports, filing a flight plan, or planning a departure time.
We use it locally when you're doing local flights, but it's really for pilots that are doing, large legs where they're flying across multiple time zones or even country to country. Some countries participate in daylight savings, some don't. So it made it easier if we all just use this one universal time, and then just understanding in relation to where you are in the world, how much I need to correct for that to get your current local time. That's kind of the idea. Put everyone on the same playing field. It's kind of like how we use English as the language for aviation. We use UTC time or Zulu time for the universal time.
Pilots encounter Zulu time throughout everyday flight operations, especially when reading weather reports, forecasts, and operational notices. One of the most common places pilots see Zulu time is in METAR weather observations. METAR reports include a timestamp showing exactly when the observation was recorded. For example, 231651 Zulu means the observation was issued on the 23rd day of the month at 1651 Zulu time. The first two numbers represent the day of the month, while the remaining numbers show the time. Zulu time is also used in a terminal aerodrome forecast, or TAF. These forecasts include the time the forecast was issued and the period when the forecast is valid. For example, a forecast might be issued at 1720 Zulu and be valid from 1800 Zulu on the 23rd until 2400 Zulu on the 24th. These times are always expressed in Zulu time, so pilots convert them to their local time zone to understand when the forecast period begins and ends. Pilots will also see Zulu time used in NOTAMs, which provide important operational information such as runway closures or navigation aid outages. For example, a NOTAM may state that a runway is closed from 0400 Zulu until 1000 Zulu. Pilots convert these times to their local time to determine when the closure affects their flight. For student pilots, learning to quickly recognize and interpret Zulu time in these reports is an essential part of reading aviation weather and planning safe flights.
Some common mistakes students make with Zulu time is they might miscalculate the corrections for Zulu time. So they might plan for being 5 hours off of Zulu time, and with daylight savings, now we're only 4 hours off of Zulu time in the Eastern time zone. They might literally take Zulu time as current time, so that can also mislead them to make, poor planning decisions with weather or departure times.
When filing a flight plan, pilots record key times using Zulu time so that everyone involved in the flight is referencing the same clock. For example, a flight plan may list a proposed departure time of 13:45 Zulu. If the estimated en route time is 2 hours and 5 minutes, the aircraft will have an estimated arrival time of 1550 Zulu. Recording times this way ensures that air traffic control, weather systems, and flight monitoring services are all referencing the same timeline during the flight. Zulu time is a fundamental part of aviation communication and flight operations. Pilots rely on a shared time reference to ensure that critical information is understood at the correct moment. For student pilots, becoming comfortable reading, interpreting, and using Zulu time is an important step in developing strong flight planning and decision-making habits. With practice, recognizing and converting Zulu time quickly becomes second nature, allowing pilots to focus on what matters the most: safe and efficient flight operations. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new, leave a like on this video. It lets us know you are enjoying our content. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more aviation tips and insights from Epic Flight Academy.